drive down and through that voice. Feel how you're coming up like this. Okay, let's feel like we're driving down and through that. Feel like your left shoulder is moving down just a little bit for me, okay?
I have that, but the drive from right hit down, but the irons are hit up.
We want to reverse that. Okay, partner?
Okay.
Left shoulder going down. Getting an angle of the tap down. Good. We want to be in that channel. Right here in that channel. Right here. These little areas right here. You're not going to get a very quality reading. Let's try to, what I try to do. Try to get that on these little areas. So there you go. So it's somewhat flattish, and we're still getting a good reading.
Not very good at weight transferring. It's also a thing.
Remember, we're just hitting about 15, 20 balls. We're not trying to judge our performance too much. We're just trying to warm up, okay? We're going to take a look at it on video here in a bit. There you go, much better. Much better. So who's your pick for the U.S. Open? You gonna be catching it? You don't know? I'm pulling for Scotty Scheffler. I know that.
Good pick.
I figured you'd be picking Bryson DeChambeau. Figured he'd be your guy.
Picking whoever wins, whoever does the best. Sweet, like a driver.
Don't be too hard on yourself. You're still just kind of warming up. Okay? Much better job with the wrist angle back there. Good job. All right, give me one more here, big guy.
No weight transfer.
All right, so a few things I kind of see here with the setup, okay? So go ahead and set up to a ball for me. Go ahead, set on up. Good. Now, we got to work on this setup here, okay? You see how this toe's back and this one's up, okay? We want to get these guys at least on the same line. So get that left up, yep, good. Give me a little bit wider setup. There you go. And then I need that left foot a quarter of the turn out. Yeah, yeah. And you could probably turn this guy out just a smidge. There you go. That's a much better setup for you to turn into. Okay? That's where we want to start right now. Okay? I want to work with your feet right now so you get this set up so we start to get our feet knees, hips, and shoulders in the line that we need. Right now, you got everything kind of cattywampus. Okay? So, right now, I don't care where you hit it. Okay? I want you to give me 4 or 5 balls, and all you're going to focus on is getting this setup a little bit more solid. Okay?
Okay.
All right? Sorry.
Practice swing.
So, good. There we go, good. Get our toes on up to that line, right? There we go, good. Okay, let's get our feet lined up to that. Very good. How do you even do this to you? All right, get that left foot up on that line. Get that, there you go. Feel like you're just a little bit closed, just a little bit. All right, just a feel for right now. We'll get you out of that. Just getting our, right, and then making sure that we feel like our knees, hips, and shoulders are stacked on that same line, okay? Good. Better. Okay, better. One more here for me, big guy. Give me. There you go. We got the camera on. Face on. All right. All right. All right. Let's take a look at that guy. Right. Feel a lot of weight on your backside, right? Okay. Let's take a look. Position that camera a little bit different, but that's okay. Okay. As far as our movement right here, that's pretty good, pal. Okay. That's looking pretty good.
I didn't transfer weight super well.
You know, we're losing our wrist angle here a little bit. You see that? Okay. And then what happens is we fall back quite a bit, and then we kind of flip out as we kind of come through. I'm going to try to change the camera angle here just a little bit for you. Okay, and give me another swing if you could, please. Okay. Feel like your right foot is behind your left foot. There you go. Good. We're in line good. Let's take a look at that guy. This will be a little bit better camera angle. Yeah, much better. Much better. Let's jump on here and take a look. Alright, so let's go head in a circle. Shoulder line. Hip line. Okay. Alright, and let's just kind of take a look at those two things as we kind of start here. And let's kind of go a little different. Big Rory, I think we got some new guys here. Big Rory fan, right? If I remember right?
Yeah, I'm a Warrior fan.
I don't think they got a DeChambeau in here for us. Let's see if there's something on there. Why would you have an iron with Rory? He just pounds driver all the time. We put Ryan Fox in, he won. He's a character.
That's
What you got?
pick a random one. Chris. We'll do Chris.
Chris Kirk.
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like that.
That is different for sure.
Looks like that.
Like dad.
He does.
I got his hair.
Oh, he's wearing a hat. Dad wears hats. Same beard color.
All right, so let's take a look. You're going to analyze this real quick for us here. Good. All right, so Chris Kirk, he's got a 7-iron, I think, in his hands here just a little bit, right? Let's kind of take a look and see. Right. So he kind of keeps everything really stacked on top, right? Now the one thing I kind of see here, and it's ever so slightly, right? But you can see that his left shoulder is getting behind his. You all right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the one thing we can kind of see here is as he turns up to the top, you can see that this line right here is getting just behind where his hip line is here. Yours is getting a little bit ahead. Okay. Now the big thing that we're kind of doing here is right about here, we're starting to lose our angle. We're kind of throwing the club a little bit. Okay? So we need to have that feeling. You see what we're kind of doing there? We need to have that feeling kind of set up for me. Okay? Up to the top and stop for me. How far do you get that? I'm just going to try to see, make sure. That's pretty good right there. Okay, up to the top and stop. Okay, so we're going to get our shoulder a little bit more turned behind it. Right there, you feel that? Good. Okay, and what we want to kind of feel now is I'm going to press on your back, and I want you to pull down with your hands. So go ahead, pull down. All right, that's going to be more the feeling that we need to kind of have. Let's do that again. Back up to the top. Good. All right, hold on. Back up to the top. Stop for me. Okay, good. All right, and we got to have this. Okay, you feel that? Okay. That way we can maintain this angle with this, okay? And then we've got to get here, and then we got to start turning through and getting that weight going this way. You see how that works there? Okay? Because you're throwing the club so early, the weight's getting back behind you, and you're staying back there with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's really tough for you to transfer your weight when we're doing that. Let's narrow up our stance just a little bit for me. There we go. Okay? Up to the top, stop. Good. Feel how we're turned into it right there? Good. Now I want you to feel like your arms are falling down. Let gravity take over. Yeah. Okay. We're going to be able to, well, that's a closed club face. Okay. Now the other thing we want to kind of look at here, go ahead, set up for me again. Okay. So remember, this guy's going to be in line. There you go. Okay. That's going to be a big thing for us. Now the other thing that I see here a little bit is that the right hand is so far underneath. Okay, it's tough to control the club. Okay, so let's kind of come on back over to this. Okay, so we're going to go here. Okay, feel it in the fingers. We're going to get the pad over top. Very good. We're going to bring this guy in, and he's going to be a little bit more on top. Okay, all right. I don't want him getting under like this. Then you're going to have a big shut club face. Okay, and then if you are going to do that, right, we're going to have to spend a lot of time in the gym learning how to excessively rotate, okay, like Dustin Johnson, like Zach Johnson, okay? Those guys play with their hand really underneath, like that. You're going to have to really get in there and turn. And I'll be honest with you, there's only a special few people in the world that can do that. Does that make sense? Right?
Do you put bathroom in here?
Yes, ma'am, right on in there. There we go. So let's keep those feet in a good position. Good. Okay. Good. Keep that right hand just a little bit on top, right? Not get so far underneath us. Okay. And let's just kind of hit a couple swings there for me. Okay. That's fine. Keep going. Not worried about where it goes. One more. All right, and kind of help you out just a little bit here, right? I want you to get that T out of the ground as you come through, okay?
I didn't hit it.
That's because you're coming up, right? You feel yourself coming on up? Okay. So here,
My head is so high.
yep.
I hit
I,
really high.
I want you to hit a. I want you to give me a half swing. I want you to give me a punch shot. Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Yep. Really driving down through it. Okay. Much better. Okay. Angle of attack was down on that one. Okay, which is good. Okay, we're going to work on that just for a bit. Okay. All right. Set up again. Get a ball. Here you go, partner. All right. Give me a punch shot. Feel like you're a little half swing punch shot.
That felt a little
All right, set up for me. Okay, put this underneath your right foot. You need to get way up the top. Up here, get your foot up on it. Up higher. Okay. Here. Come on. Oh, hold on a second. There you go. Okay. All right. So we're just going to hit little punch shots. Okay. Driving down through. Get a little bit narrower stance. So bring this guy back. There you go. All right. And you're going to be just a little bit forward. Okay. Punch it down and through for me. Okay. All right. Stop falling back. Okay. Got to stop falling back. Okay. Going forward. There you go. Much better. Okay. Better. Okay. Goes in. Okay. Just give me a couple swings. Don't worry about the ball. Narrow up your stance a little bit for me. More, more, more. There you go. Okay? Now give me some swings and let's hit that ground. Now, see how you keep coming up? Better. Better.
full swing or half swing?
Half swing right now, okay? We just want to go with the half swing, just trying to get a feel for it. So set up for me. Good. Up to the top. Good. All right. And we want to feel like we're pulling down. Okay? Feel that's getting right there. All right. We're going to feel like once our hands get to our thighs, that's when we're going to release the club. Okay? All right, big guy. Come on. Doing great. Yes. Much better. Not so good. Getting better. There you go. All right. So give me a couple pumps. Kind of pump it down a little bit. Pump, pump, maintaining that angle. Yep, and then down and through for me. There you go. Good. Again. Okay, get that. You got to reset that foot for me. Okay, we want to. Nope, you're good there. Get that up. Okay. Get this guy in a little bit. He's getting outside of where we need to be. Okay. Good. 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 There you go. Good. Get that left foot back. Get a little bit low. Yep. Got to reset after every swing. Okay, big guy. Good. Good. One more for me. Okay. There you go. Doing good. You feel how you're driving that right elbow in front of you now, right?
Yeah.
You feel your weight going forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that feel different than what we did when we started?
Yeah.
Let's keep going, okay? We're probably going to need to do a mess of this, okay? That way we're starting to get that weight transfer going for us, okay? Down, down. There you go. Okay, good. Good. Okay. See how you're working off that thing now? Right? Before you be falling back into it, right? Okay, come on, big guy. Come up just a little bit. That's okay. There you go. Right? Half swing little punch shots right now. Getting down and through, right? Feel like that left shoulder is going down towards our ball, right? Alright. So remember, right, Braun? With our shoulders, we want to kind of feel like with the iron shots, we have more of a negative feeling with that lead left shoulder, right? With the driver, right, we want to feel like we've got that positive, right? So we just need to transfer that thought pattern that you got right now, because you're doing great for the driver with the irons, and you're probably doing really good with the irons with the driver, right? So we need to reverse that, okay? Good job. Okay, come on. Down through. Yeah, you feel that left shoulder moving down a little bit for you?
Yep.
Okay, good. Now the other thing that we need to kind of work on here just a little bit with this swing is not feeling like we got to come up so quick, okay? Let me kind of jump on in there and kind of give you a little demo here, okay? All right, so I get on in there, okay? I'm just going to kind of get here, right? Get a little bit of a swing right here and pump a few times, really feel like those hands are working down in front of my chest a little bit. And then really what I want to kind of do is this. Feel like I'm holding that structure out in front of me. Okay, so let me kind of do that. Okay. If I got just like this, all right, I'm going to get here, pump, pump, and try to maintain that structure out in front of me. Okay. All right. You can see that even with the little half shot pump, whatever it is, I'm still getting about 140 yards out of it. Right? So we don't need to go all the way back and try to create speed, right? Our speed's going to be from shoulder high to shoulder high. And making sure that we get a good weight transfer into it, especially with the irons. Does that make sense, big guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a good demo for you? You get a good visual?
Yep.
Okay, good. Any questions over here, guys?
I don't know anything about golf.
Did you play any sports?
Nope.
No?
Rode horses ever since I was 9, so.
Where you guys are from?
Vermont.
Vermont, okay.
So do I hit the ball while doing this?
Let's just try to get away from that, and let's just try to get a feel for it right now, okay?
So keep practicing?
Yeah, so let's just kind of narrow up the stance just a little bit. So we really have to work on getting that weight transfer through. We can kind of cheat it a little bit. All right, down. Okay, so hey, we want to feel like, okay. All right, so set up again for me. All right, I want to feel like I'm going to stop right here. Does that make sense? The club's still going to go a little bit, but I don't want to get the arms way out over here, right? I want to feel like my arms are still out in front of me about here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. A little long. That's okay. We're figuring it out. Better. Okay. Better. Okay. All right. More shoulder high to shoulder high. You feel that? Okay. Good. Good. All right. Now let's try to square up that club face. It's all kind of closed and open a little bit. So let's get that thing. All right. Whoa. Where's that going? Yeah. So let's do this. Okay. That's where we want to kind of be. The butt of the club just pointing just left of my navel, right? And making sure that when I get the club up here, right? See how close that is? All right. That's where it's got to kind of be. Okay? Let's go. Doing good. Just take a couple swings there. All right. Pump, pump. There you go. Right? Feeling your arms drive in front of your chest. Good. Yeah. Okay. It's not fancy, but I guarantee you can go out there and play golf that way and get around the course. Okay? Good. Now, were you in a bunch of competitions when you were younger?
Yeah. I still show. We show together.
Do you really? That's cool. Now, do you own horses, I assume?
Yep. She has a pony and I have a horse. Technically two, but
One's retired right now. He had something wrong with him, and he's with a different woman. And when he's done, he's retired. We're gonna have
he's
it
just
back.
doing trail rides because we jump, so I couldn't keep him sound. Yeah, he just.
Good. That was a good one right there. That was good. Keep it going. Good job. Good job. Good. Right? Good.
Try to get under that. Did this.
All right. So I'm sure you've seen the PGA logo before, right? Right? There's the guy that's got the arms out in front of his chest, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why. That's a very important position, right? So when we look at this guy, right, that's what we want to kind of feel like we're finishing at right now. Now everything else after that is just window dressing, okay? But that's what we want to kind of feel like as we're coming through right now, as we're practicing, okay? All right, so that's what I want you kind of to envision in your mind. Does that make sense? Okay, you did that just a couple swings ago. Keep going. Okay, so let's keep going with that. Give me that visual in your mind. Good. Okay, hold it. Give you one and hold it for me. Where's your weight?
Front foot.
Going forward, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's huge. Okay, that's a big deal for us. It doesn't seem like a lot, right?
But it is.
But if we have our weight on our backside, we're really going to have struggle with ball striking, okay? Let's keep going, buddy. You're doing great. Good. Just keeping that weight moving forward. Envision that logo. Good. Good. Give you about two more here. Good. Yes. Right? You can feel the strike going through. You can feel the speed in the right spots. It's not, I hope I catch it and get on up, right? Good. All right. Let's do this. Okay. Go ahead and set up. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get on that. Yep. So just go ahead and set up. I'm going to move that in for you. Okay, partner? All right. So a little wider stance than that, right? There you go. Now remember, we got to get this foot back. Okay? This guy's got to be up. He's in the lead. He comes up over here. Move him up. There you go. There you go. That's going to get all of our body lines in a good position. Okay? Now let's get our right foot up a little bit. Put him on here. Yep, all the way up. There you go. Good. Good. Okay? Now let's just work on what we've been working on. Okay? We're not trying to kill it. Give it a
half swing?
What's that? Yeah, half swing pumps, right? And feel that finish. Okay? Good. Now look at this. This is a huge difference for you. Let me see if it has all the other. Get out of here. Okay, so now we're starting to get 5 degrees down, 4 degrees down, where we were only getting like 0.07, right? Which is basically swinging flat or up, right?
That's
good. Yeah, that's real good. That's big for us. Okay, so let's keep with that, okay, big guy? You got the feel for it?
Yep.
Feel yourself fall back a little bit there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're getting a little bit out of position here. All right, here we go. All right, no, there we go, good. Okay. Pump those arms down, good. Hold that position. Six arms. So it's going to be just slightly up center. Okay, good. Yes, yes. Big thing, weight going forward, angle of attack is down, right? You feel that lead shoulder going down a little bit there?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
5.3.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. And remember, we've got a few things that are kind of helping us. We're on that little device, right? All right. Okay. Now it's not going to win the long drive competition, right?
No, but it's
I
going to win the
guarantee you-
straight drive competition.
Perfect, right? You could get around the course that way. If I said, hey, that's what we got to play, you know, we're going to grab probably a couple extra clubs to get the distance that we want, but we're not over there in Mrs. Fuffnick's yard hanging out, right? Or Mrs.
Yeah, I hit that screen. That would have been a
Catali's.
hole through the screen. That would have been a couple thousand right there.
Yeah.
Fix that screen.
All right. Hey, Dad, you're going to pay for that. Pay for that.
Yeah.
Pay for that window.
Too young.
There we go. Good. Where's that weight?
It was in the front.
I
I just didn't move.
You got to move.
I should move though.
Yes, you should move, okay? Because you're going to want to transverse your weight back to the back, okay? Good.
I just leaned forward without moving. Somehow.
So it's kind of a little form of cheating, right? Kind of found a little workaround, right?
I'm supposed to.
Right? All right. Focus on maintaining that logo out in front of you, like we saw at the beginning.
Oh, transfer my weight.
It's all right. Get that in a good position, right? Feel like the ball is just up of center. There you go. Good. Okay. Now swing. Just pump.
No, straight.
It's all right. Give me one more here, big guy, and then take a break. You got some water or anything
I
here?
have an energy drink.
You got an energy drink. Perfect.
I drank it.
Oh,
Never
well,
mind. I don't have
Never
anything.
mind then. We'll still take a break for just a second. Okay, take a break for it.
I'm weight transfer. Ooh, that's not the
Okay. So let me see the plug here, big guy. All right.
You drink all the substance. Come on.
You shouldn't be drinking energy drinks.
I shouldn't.
Three times your age.
Yeah, my father.
All right, big guys. So we're going to come on in here. We got to keep working with the speed a little bit because you keep getting them. You keep doing this on them, right? And then what's going to happen is our path is going to get like this a little bit, and it's going to be tough. Okay, so jump on in here real quick. All right, so we're going to put our left foot here. Okay, we're going to put our right foot here. Okay, see what we're doing. Okay, and you see where the ball's going to be at?
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right here.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So just kind of working on stance and posture right now. Okay? Now the big thing is, okay, we're going to try to get away from that device a little bit. Okay? But what we want to kind of feel like is we're going to pump, 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 and then what you're going to do is you're going to feel like you're holding the club. You're going to feel like you're swinging as hard as you can, and then you're going to stop right about rib cage high. Okay? And that's going to keep our hands out in front of our chest as we come through. Okay? Give me a couple swings. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Weight's moving forward. Good job. Mm-hmm. Good work. Okay. Good. It almost feels like, at least to me, when I was your age, almost felt like when I got there through impact, I was actually throwing the club. Does that kind of resonate with you a little bit?
For that saying.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we want to kind of feel like as I get here, I'm kind of throwing that club into the ground, right? And then it's going to come on up here, and I'm going to brace up here. I want to feel like I'm bracing up. So my chest is going to be up. My hands are going to be kind of underneath me just a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that way we start getting speed. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay. We need to practice a mess of this, okay? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good job. There you go. Now I know it's going to be tempting when we're working on these to be like, I need to hit a ball to see where it's going, right? And I get that, okay? But what we really need to kind of work on is getting these feels of what we need to kind of do at this point, right? And then we'll start hitting some balls. I know you've got, what, some extra land over where you're at, and you almost got like your own golf course or something like
chipping.
that. Golf hole? No, chipping. Okay.
I was chipping how to
We
box.
have
and I
5
was just-
acres, but the house is kind of set in the middle of the whole property.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I'm building a barn in the back, so you won't have to go for
Well, I do have the front, but she's also going to build like a pasture there so we can do our jumping.
Okay.
So
it.
she's
Well, we're
more
right around the corner from Lake Javita. I think and Kyle go to the driving range. Probably more
mostly,
often
but we mostly play. We don't usually. It's the only time we really go to the driving range at Lake Juvita is if we want to hit, but we don't have enough time to play 18 or 9, or it's like about to storm or it's too hot, so we just hit until we're done.
I got you. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I play Lake Javita quite a bit.
Yeah.
And sometimes the driving range is closed. You know,
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
It's everybody
Oh,
close for
yeah.
us.
Kyle's never been when it's been closed.
He's also a member, so he usually goes to the member
Yeah, but
range.
he's probably a member. You're a member too.
No.
Well, I wasn't saying he wasn't a member. I was just saying Dad's a member, so he does the member range.
They may have the
Oh.
they may have
And
the
he's-
back range open for you guys. They hardly ever have the front range open.
There's been a couple times where I saw the regular range, like no one was there. It's like, man, that's weird, but the member range is full with a bunch of members. So it's-
Yeah. So that's just one of those things. But if you could find a little spot to practice in the backyard, not that we need to hit balls, but if we can just make this motion right here,
Yeah.
it's going to clean up a lot. Because the big thing I see for him is he just keeps falling back.
Mhm.
I
So.
do have that. One time I actually almost tripped.
Yeah, Kyle just texted me and it's like, Tim says his stance is all cattywampus. He goes, Braun gets really upset when I try to correct him and I tell him that, but
Well, he also sits there and is like, you gotta do this because if you do this, that, and he does the same thing 45 times. I've done this before. I know, just give me the club so I
Well,
can-
and that's why
I know.
I'm the one giving
Right.
the instruction,
Yeah.
right?
And not
And
Dad.
that's why when I I take my daughter to a gymnastic person because I don't know gymnastics,
Yeah.
and I just know if I talk to her about it, I want to listen to
Yeah.
her dad. So I get that. As a parent myself, it's even when I try to teach him golf, they're like, get away from dad.
And it's, I'm just as good, if not better than Dad. So
okay, yeah. We
I
also-
am. I outdrive him.
We also need to stay humble.
I outdrive him.
Correct. A little
There's
humble
always
pie.
someone better than you.
All right, there you go.
I
okay?
outdrive him every time we go out.
All right. So, with that being said, okay, it's about scoring, not about driving. Remember that, okay? Now let's kind of just hit it. Let's see. Now, the big thing is look where your stance is, right? You see how your feet are in the same direction right there, okay? Not one in front of the other, and that's going to get everything stacking on top of each other, okay? Let's go. You're doing great, okay? Right? Little half swings, right? Pump, pump. Yeah. Feel like we're holding that club out in front of us like that PGA logo.
Okay.
And good. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. All right, so stay right there. We're going to hit about 3 balls here. Okay. I'm going to get this thing set up. So go ahead and set yourself up where you want to be. Okay, I'm going to put the ball right there. Okay. Now let's just kind of work on what we're working on. Okay, big guy? Down, down. Good. Good. Right.
Probably the straightest I've ever hit it.
All right. Now, I can't tell you, as a little kid, about 8 years old, I probably did a whole summer of just this. Just hitting little half swings. Okay? But I had a grumpy old grandpa that watched me every day. Very grumpy. Great golfer, but very grumpy.
I'm getting tired.
That's all right.
I'm getting tired, Mom. I've done this.
It's okay. We haven't done it in a while, right? We're activating new muscles, right? We're doing things that we haven't done before, and that's to be expected. Okay. Fell back just a little bit on that one. Feel that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Okay, let's get this guy on out. Okay. Right, left foot there. Right. Right foot there. Okay. There we go. Let's do another 3 balls. Okay. And I would suggest when you're doing this, okay, do it in units of 3. Okay. That way you can kind of take a break and you kind of assess. We don't want to, then we just get into bad habits. Okay. Here we go. 3 balls. Okay. Half swings, pump, pump, and let's maintain that PGA logo. One more. Okay. Good, good. All right, we're getting tired. Okay?
Nah, I just
You look like a prize fighter
I just
in
can't
about the 13th round now.
I feel like I can't hit it unless my foot's like this. I don't know why.
Okay.
So used to that.
Okay. Well, that, you know, the big thing is what we need to kind of focus on today, right? Is just focusing on our setup, okay? Making sure that gets in a good position, right? The big thing I see what we're doing, at least with our irons, is that we're traversing our weight back to hit it, right? So we need to kind of have that feeling of driving down and through and maintaining that structure out in front of us, like the PGA logo. So let me kind of demonstrate a little bit for you here. Okay. Once again, kind of give you a good visual. Okay. Now, do you have any questions or anything like that? Anything I could kind of answer for you before we break?
No.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
We're good.
Mom, any questions that you may have or anything like that?
Do you go out on the course?
I try to. I may be able to get out to Lake Bernadette, but I don't really right now have any.
Yeah, Kyle wanted
Yeah.
me to inquire.
You know, it might be one of those things we go out to Lake Javita one day or something like that and go play 9 holes or something
Yeah.
like that. But really at that point it's about course management, right? Just kind of figure out, hey, where do I hit it? Where do I not? You know, where are the big things like that? So yeah, we can definitely kind of touch in on that for sure. Those are always fun, right?
Yeah, just kind of like put it all together.
Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, that's where we play the game, right? Out on the
Yeah.
course, right? Unfortunately, not in the sim, right?
Well, no, this is great because it's showing everything
Mm-hmm.
that he's doing.
And a good thing about this is that we can play golf in here too. It's just, you know, turf is a little bit different, but we do get some of the same things about where we need to kind of hit it. But it is nice to have the wind, the noise, the people running around, the guy behind you. You know, that's all. You never have that here, right?
Yeah.
So, but once again, as we kind of go here, right, I want us to kind of work on this, right? Getting our feet, right? I'd much rather have this right foot back behind my left, okay? That way I'm getting to the inside part of the ball. You're kind of like this, all right? And then everything's going to be kind of out and away, Okay, so let's get that right foot back behind that left just a little bit for us so we get everything stacked on top of each other, right? And then all we really need to kind of work on here is just kind of feel that club dropping down in front of us here, okay? And then as I come through, feeling like my arms stay out in front of my chest as far as I can, okay? That's gonna really get my weight to move forward as I go through. So as I go, here we go, right? So I get here, boom, pump, pump, down. Okay. All right, and for me, I don't know, what is this, a 6-iron or so? With a full swing, I'm probably going to hit it maybe 30 yards, maybe 25 yards more carry, right? But if I had to, and somebody, put a gun to my head and say, hey, this is all you can do, I could get out and play that way. Does that make sense, right?
It's straight.
It's straight, right? And that's the name of the game. So once again, getting here, right? Feel that club down in front of us, okay? Feeling what we're doing, maintaining that angle, not getting our wrist to fly out here. All right, so here, down, down, right? And you can definitely see as I do this, right? I'm definitely maintaining this structure out in front of me. That's the big thing right there, okay? I don't want you to get like this, right? You just get, all the weight goes back, and what happens, right? And in a world that we have like that, instead of the strike being like this with the club, it starts to get like this, okay? And then we start to introduce the leading edge, and then it's no good. Does that make sense, big guy?
Then it's a top or it's a driver's
Correct, right? But once again, right, with our shoulders, we want to kind of feel like, with the irons, right, we want to feel like it's kind of a negative, right, pressing into the ground, getting down into it, right? And with the driver, we want to have the reverse, up, okay?
Yeah.
So right now, I wouldn't really worry about the driver per se, okay? I know it's fun to hit, and we like to pound it, right? But we really need to kind of work on the irons. It's going to be more of the played shot that we're going to need, right? We need to kind of figure out where we want to kind of start our driver at just to get it in the fairway. But the big thing is getting it on the green to be able to score. That's the big thing for us as we
My
move
grandpa
forward.
says the drive is for show, and the rest of it is for like the score and stuff.
Yeah,
Alright.
It's like the
most of
second.
your game is.
Yeah, the driver is
fairway
just
trying to score.
the driver is just to get it closer to the hole, so you have a better chance of scoring the best. But
It's positioning it, right? You know, if I look at Scotty Scheffler, he doesn't care about, hitting a long draw or anything. He's going to hit his cut to get out into the middle of the fairway or something like that. And then his main focus is just getting it onto the green, right? Just making sure. He's not one of those guys that goes flag hunting all the time. He hits the center of the green and he makes putts, right? So that's really the name of the game. It doesn't matter how far you drive it. It just matters if we can get fairways and greens in regulation, and then our scores really start to come down.
I'm gonna ask you if I can try out the driver because I want to see where I am at with everything. But
Okay.
like you said, don't worry about the driver. And also, I don't want to get all this coordinated. I went from irons to directly back to driver, and then when I do it again, it's iron driver constantly switching. So it's like my body's can't like maintain the main motion for each club.
Yeah.
So it gets confused. So I do.
But the big thing is right now, as I said, is getting that weight transfer, right? And not getting so hung back. Even if I was hitting a driver, I wouldn't want to get this hung back so much because then I'm really getting the club head to outrace my hands, right? And then I'm hitting it off the bottom there too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still going to be hitting it more up and through, but you'll definitely see as those guys come through, it's boom, and then they're up on the full, firm left side right now. And as for you, you'd be here getting back.
Yeah.
So I would definitely kind of work on this little guy right here, get something like that. You can get those at a little auto parts store,
I was gonna say,
Walmart.
it looks like a little card.
Yeah, I think I used to use this for my tractor. You kind of run the tractor up to change the blades or something like that. But really just kind of getting that here, it cradles
Yeah.
that hip.
Yeah,
and
because
it-
he's falling back, and that's making him stand there.
yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
break an ankle doing that, right? So really getting that angle of attack down and through. So.
It's there's something I did that I'm going to do for everyone to swing. I end up like this. I can do it right now because I'm 12, but when I get older, I'm going to be able to do it.
Yeah, the big thing is that if you look at somebody like Will Zalatoris, right? He's one of those guys that he was able to make that motion. He put on 20 pounds, snapped his. He's got a herniated disc now and stuff like this. Probably won't ever be the same.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, right? But that's the big thing I'm trying to guard against in the future for you, is to make sure that your lower spine doesn't hurt, right? And you start pinching that lower part, right? But if I can get you to move forward, right, we can get that pressure off our spine and elevate up instead of getting back here and trying to, right? Right, yeah. Because I guarantee you, if we keep repeating that pattern, by the age we're 22, 23, you know, you're going to be like this, right? You're going to be hurt, right? So that's the main thing, getting you moving forward, okay? Any other questions, guys? Okay.
It'll be back.
I love it. I love it. So tell Kyle I said hi. Have him give me a call. We'll try to figure out some way to get out there on the course and get that working for him and stuff like that.
That'd be fun. Something
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't need this, but
Well, I think we need to have some practice time. You know, probably a couple weeks with this, just working on it, right? Getting that motion down, and then
getting in now that school's out.
yeah,
Why do you act like you were just up for an hour swinging a goal?
I love it. So how was Hawaii though?
It was incredible. Yeah, we stayed on the north shore of Oahu. We got to do Pearl Harbor, which they weren't super excited about, but we
They
did.
were.
They'll,
I was excited.
Well,
once they get older, they'll understand the.
hopefully they'll appreciate it. Yeah, study it in school. Yeah, it was nice.
You
We're
didn't like-
laid back. We're like the north side is all surfing because it's the pipeline, the like famous. So winter's their surf season because the wave's really big, but
Okay.
still there's like hundreds of people out surfing.
Is that just, I guess, the way the current comes on that north side, I assume?
Yeah, the way the wave breaks, I guess, is like perfect. So it was pretty laid back and quiet, not touristy, which was nice.
Okay.
Because like Waikiki and Honolulu, that's on the other side of the island, so it's super touristy. But no, it was nice. Travel's rough.
I was about to say, what is the-
6-hour difference?
What now? Did you take a plane to Las Vegas or LA or and then?
So on the way there, we went to Denver, and then Denver to Honolulu, and then on the way home, we went to. God, I don't even remember where we flew through now. We were up at 5 a.m. Sunday, and we landed 6 a.m. Monday. Yeah, do you remember where we flew through on the way back?
It was more in the upper right. We landed more upper right.
Oh, Washington.
I was gonna say
Washington.
Seattle.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
it
it was
Seattle?
Seattle, and then Seattle to Tampa. So that was 2 6-hour flights.
Whew.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you get home and you have to stay up all day when really you'd be sleeping because we didn't really sleep on the plane that much. And then like these past 2 days, it's just like they were up till 2 in the morning because they're like, well, we can't sleep.
Well, last night
we'd
I
be
was
up.
up too.
So yeah, the time adjustment is rough, but
And that's the thing I really respect about those guys that play on the tour and the PGA Tour is that they'll travel all the way over to Honolulu and then they slowly start coming back. But you got to perform as an athlete. You got to train to sleep in these areas. I mean,
I
it's
couldn't imagine.
I just remember me playing on mini tours. I would travel from Florida to Louisiana to Georgia, right? And you'd have that. And you're just exhausted just driving. And I can't imagine going through time zones and trying to perform. So
Yeah.
hats off to those guys. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. So
Hey,
She's on top.
Dallas.
okay,
All right. Well, we'll be back.
okay.
Me up.
I know that.
And she's not.
Keep working on it. Send me some videos of what he's working on.
Yeah.
Okay, send him through the porthole and stuff like that, and
That's
we'll
also
take a look at it. What's
I
that?
don't do many of my lessons. I forget about it. We don't have much that I can do with it, so.
Yes, I do. I'm getting that wedge, and
Yeah, but the
I can
last.
get like a green mat like that for out on the lawn,
the
right?
last-
Absolutely. I mean, I think a few things I would do is I would get something like this to kind of help him with his placement. It's just a simple little thing. Jeff Bezos would love to get one at your door today.
Yeah,
If you want to take a picture of it, you
I was
can.
gonna say Gizmello. Is that the brand?
Yeah.
You do know
Probably
you
made in
have
China.
turf, just Dallas is using it for a Schleich.
No, you're not taking.
Well, that's a little square. I do like a
But
big
it still
square.
helps. It's,
That
Or I
and
can give it
like,
mine. You can just grab it.
Right, so those are some things that we kind of work on right there.
Yeah.
Make it,
Yeah, we
make
have
it
one of
the
these.
upstairs a
Mhm.
backyard.
Mhm.
Make it
Remember
like
him.
the upstairs, up on the upstairs, not
Right.
backyard.
those extra steps, but
But
Yeah,
what I mean by
definitely.
the last year, I
I'll,
haven't been doing
I'll relay it to Kyle. No, we're gonna get back.
Okay.
it. We will now.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be.
But I mean, everybody's got a camera nowadays. It
Oh,
does,
yeah.
you know, you can just
Yeah.
kind of back there, send it on off and stuff like that. I can
Yeah.
kind of give it a little review and stuff like that. And say, hey, we're moving in the right direction, or hey, we need to kind of step back and do this or that, or let's get back in here and see each other again. But the big thing is just consistently working on it and,
Yep.
and probably, you know, at least every 2 weeks to a month at least getting on in here and reevaluating everything that is working
Oh,
on.
definitely
Right?
once a week. I was even thinking like twice a week now that summer's here.
What? Coming here?
Yeah.
I'll do it twice a week.
Yeah.
So whatever works best for you guys, you know, I know it's a busy time and you got stuff to do, but, you know, we got availability.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
all right.
Alrighty.
Mom.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay. Braun, have a good one, big guy.
You too.
Keep working on it. You're doing great, okay? And remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Have a good one. Tell Kyle I said hi, please. And that's a wrap.